I've always been interested to hear about your experiences when you appeared for WWE. I know you did a couple of different spots. So obviously, I assume you weren't under Ring of Honor contract then.
Not at that point. No. Yeah, that was kind of like the time frame in between Rhett Titus and the Romantic Touch showing up,
Yeah.
because like Touch showed up about six months after Rhett Titus had disappeared. But that was always cool. I always like to say I had a cup of coffee in WWE, because there's like one scene where I'm having a cup of coffee and Vince McMahon is just yelling at like Brad Maddox or something like that.
And Vicky,
But
right? I thought
yeah,
Vicky was there. Yeah.
and some Rosebud stuff, and I wrestled the Ascension as well on TV. That was pretty cool, just for the sure fact of having a match on SmackDown, and because everybody always asks like, hey, like when can I watch you on TV? When you gonna hit the big time? Oh man, like I'm on TV, like
Yeah.
I'm a contracted wrestler, like. And because people don't understand, they're like, oh, Ring of Honor, like, and they kind of look at it as like, because I've been with Ring of Honor my whole career, like, that it's like, it's just been this one like little promotion this whole time where the Ring of Honor when I started compared to the Ring of Honor now is like apples and oranges. The company has gone through amazing growth, and when when I first started at Ring of Honor, like if you would have told me that I'd be getting a paycheck every month, regardless if I wrestled or not, I would have laughed at you. Like what? Like the same company that sent me to Wawa to buy ice concession stands, and then when I came back and said, "Hey, you guys didn't give me enough money. It cost $20 extra." They're like, "Oh, well, thank you very much." And I was like, "Dude, I'm 18 years old. I got a 6-month-old. Like, come on, like help me out here. But hey, like if you would have told me that then, I would have laughed at you. But now, like it's like I said, it's a completely different company. So
When you were doing the WWE spot, did you have any interaction with Vince McMahon, or were you just kind of set in your spot there? Did he give you any direction by chance?
well, it was really crazy just to see how like they do like the live TV and like the live like little backstage vignettes, because the one with Vince was shot live. So he came out from his segment in the TV, and like I was told like, hey, just wait here, like when Vince is ready, he'll be ready. And he kind of just like comes back from the ring, and he strolls in, and he's like, all right, so what's the segment? And they're like explaining him, and then he's kind of like taking it all in, and he's like, well, what about if we did it like this? And this is all during the commercial break. And I'm
Oh,
like,
wow.
and they're coming back from the commercial break with this scene. So it's like, man, like this guy is just like changing it on the fly, So it was just like amazing to watch. And then like, as like, the funniest thing was like, as like it's going on and it's like playing live, you just feel your phone just going, and like your Twitter just blowing up, and like it's just like, man, like it's crazy how like quick like people like sorry about
You're
that.
good.
Yeah.
It's all good.
But it's crazy to just see how like quickly people how it goes from TV right to the Twitter or whatever, whereas like Ring of Honor, like we'll tape stuff months before, and then all of a sudden, poof, here it is on TV. Like, damn, I forgot that I even had this match, or,
Yeah.
I forgot what this promo was even about, But, so it's very cool just to see how they do things there. And, and even with like the wrestling match against like the Ascension, like, the producers, being a play into it, and just cool to see how
Who did produce it, by the way?
Road Dog.
Oh,
Road Dog.
nice.
Yeah. And it's funny because they're like, hey, so we think we're gonna play a rib on one of the guys in the production truck, and that's gonna be your name for the match. His name is Steve Garino. And I was like, Oh, well, that kind of works for me too because I can play rib on one of my friends. So yeah, but I never actually wound up getting a graphic or mentioned on as Steve Garino on TV. So the rib kind of fell flat.
I love it. So who gave you the call and said, "Oh, you're coming to SmackDown. You're wrestling a match"?
Uh, well, it was funny because they when they did this was the Ascension's second match on TV. So they had the first one against Miz and Mizdow, and then like the second one. So Scott Armstrong, had all the extras, and he was like, "All right, we're gonna have you guys wrestle matches, and we're gonna take the best guy from the matches." And he's like, "I already know I'm using Titus, so Titus, you don't gotta wrestle. You can wrestle if you want, but
Nice.
we're already using you." I was like, "Oh, I'm flattered," But yeah, so I didn't know going in there that day that I would be having the match, but as soon as I got there, I pretty much knew. I was like, wow, so you had plenty of time to stretch and prepare, and it's not like you went to catering and pigged out, and then all of a sudden you come back and you're like, "Oh, what? I gotta wrestle the Ascension," But it was cool though because I knew Viktor. I had wrestled him at Ring of Honor back
Oh yeah.
2006. Yeah, I wrestled him in 2006 when he was wrestling as Apocalypse. He would actually come. He was friends with Daniel Bryan, so he would come down to the Ring of Honor dojo and train with us as well. So I had a rapport with him, and we wrestled. It's funny because on the Indies in Ring of Honor, he used to do this move. He'd do like the crucifix bomb, like a razor's edge, but then he would turn it into a pile driver.
Oh wow.
Which is crazy, But so he hit me with that move in Philly, bang, and Philly was close to my house, so my parents came to watch, and he hits me with this big move, bang, and I'm walking to the back after the match. I'm like selling my neck, and then all of a sudden, like I hear my mom in the locker room. I'm like, what the hell? And my mom's like, "Oh my gosh, are you all right? Are you all right?" And I'm like, "Mom, get out of here!" Because like, no lie, like Colt Cabana, Alex Shelley, and Jimmy Rave were standing right there having a conversation, and I'll never forget. And Colt was like, "He's all right, Mom. He's all right." And she's like, "Well, he should have got into acting. He had me worried sick out there." And I'm just like, "Oh my gosh!" And I'm like, "Oh man," there's like thinking in my head, like, "Oh yeah, like 2007, like because Colt went away to WWE and came back years later and to Ring of Honor, and I was like, yeah, he probably doesn't even remember me as the same person, and then he's like, "Yeah, we can't have moms running around the locker room or anything. Ain't that right, Tom? Remember that?" And he's like, "You never forget when a mom comes into the locker room." And I'm like, "Oh gosh." But I'm really I'm good friends with Alex Shelley now, but I'm like deathly scared to ask, like, "Hey man, like do you remember like when my mom came in the locker room, that Philly show 2007 or 2006 rather?" Yeah.